Assalamu alaikum, everyone. My name is Amir Faisal, and I'm going to present a proposal for laboratories for biomedical research. Originally, Dr. Mirza was going to present this, but she is currently recovering from COVID-19, and we wish her a speedy and full recovery. For the last couple of years, we've been trying to get dedicated labs for research into infectious diseases and drug discovery. For a country like Pakistan, research into infectious diseases is critical, and we've seen the need for such a facility in the current pandemic. For example, UK has sequenced over 146,000 genomes of the virus. India has sequenced nearly 5,000, and Pakistan has sequenced only 48. It is critical to sequence the virus to map its spread and to identify new mutations. We previously proposed a plan for a separate building with BSL2, BSL3 labs, that is biosafety level 2, biosafety level 3 laboratories, and an animal facility. That plan, however, has been on hold due to financial constraints. During last year, we proposed to convert the right wing of the SSC third floor into these dedicated laboratories so we can carry out research and apply for grants in areas that have an impact on public health. As for as for the vision of the laboratories for biomedical research, we want to reduce mortality due to common infections, improve diagnosis and treatment, and promote healthy life. So work of some of our faculty focuses on identifying immune responses to vaccines in order to determine whether some vaccines administered in our population without any effectivity data are actually inducing immunological response. This includes a pneumococcal vaccine given to elderly with type 2 diabetes or cardiovascular diseases, or the immunological response to rabies vaccine imported from China. Similarly, we want to work with an enhanced program for immunization to evaluate the efficacy of vaccines and have a national action plan for antimicrobial resistance. So we want to develop innovative and practical solutions to public health problems facing Pakistan. So we want a facility that is dedicated to addressing national needs in the field of population health and medicine. And we, you know, do this by basic research. We want to generate models and targets using basic biomedical research. And such models and targets that are generated through basic biomedical research uh, can be integrated into transformative translational research for diagnosis, treatment, and prevention of communicable diseases such as infectious diseases, as well as non-communicable diseases such as uh, you know uh, diabetes or cancer or even malnutrition. And finally, we want to develop a mutually profitable collaboration with industry by extending intervention and inventions that are generated here to the industry for commercialization of products. And we want to offer expertise to the industry to the industry as well as to the research community. So the revenue generated from that can feed back into the basic research. So the laboratories for biomedical research, as I explained, we want to carry out basic research to understand the pressing health issues for both infectious diseases as well as non-communicable diseases. We want to identify host pathogen interaction. We want to identify both host and pathogen targets that can be used for development of treatment and control and prevention of infections. And this basic research then feeds into transformative translational research that can actually lead to development of vaccines, diagnostic kits, drug discovery, or bioequivalence in collaboration with the industry. So the idea is we carry out basic research that can generate data for transformative translational research, and then we work with the industry for development of vaccines, for diagnostic kits, for drug discovery, and bioequivalence. The challenges to the current research are obviously lack of dedicated BSL2 labs. Among the faculty that focuses on infectious diseases, Dr. Shahzad's work on HIV, HCV, dengue, and more recently on COVID-19. Um, he is trying to determine the structural basis of host pathogen infection. So inhibitors that can block the viral entry into the cells can be identified. Similarly, Dr. Shaker's work involves mapping antibiotic resistance in Pakistan and to map immunological responses to pneumococcal vaccines and more recently to SARS-CoV-2. In terms of animal facilities, vast majority of research questions we believe can be answered through in vitro experiments. However, in order to understand the biology of infection or cancer, it is important that we study these in their natural environment, that is, in their host. So it is imperative to conduct experiments in a living system. Mouse models are convenient, easy to handle, and cost effective, and are extensively used to answer basic biological questions. Unavailability of such a facility at LUMS hampers advancement of our biological research. So we want to use existing research evidence optimally for increasing the visibility and awareness of laboratories work and value among state and industry. We want to expand on current research themes to develop an enhanced framework for interdisciplinary collaboration and deployment of expertise. We want to seek international and national support for cutting edge translational research, which can be deployed in the vast population in Pakistan. So in terms of funding, we've got World Bank HEC grant for studying immunological response to SARS-CoV-2, and currently we can't do that research in LUMS because we don't have facilities. So Dr. Shaper is actually going to different hospitals, PKLI, to conduct her research there. Similarly, we've got Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation's funding for setting up a pneumococcal sequencing facility in Pakistan. This is part of a larger consortium, and we hope that similar sequencing initiatives will be taken for other bacterial genomes. We're funding from Shahid Hussain Foundation as well. Uh, we had a mice sequencer which got into a bit of troubles recently due to a minor fire incident in the department. So we're working with local distributors of Illumina for repairing it. We also in talks with Candid Pharmaceuticals for funding of repair of the sequencing machine and setting up biobank and repository. Similarly, Dr. Shaper Mirza is in talks with Pharma Bureau, who uh, um, will provide funding for bioequivalency and the running cost of such a facility. And they say that they can provide funding up to 50 million rupees. In terms of proposed timeline, in the year 1 and 2, we want to establish the laboratory, develop essential facility, train and certify staff that can support such laboratories. In the phase 2, we want to allocate resources for the laboratories in terms of expansion of grants, work towards developing industrial research partnership programs and development of basic methodology. And in the phase 3, we hope to produce, translational, transformative output. We want to produce output in the form of publications and launch new projects and grants. So this is the proposed map for the right wing. We have 2 dedicated BSL2 labs for the pathogens, viruses separately from the bacteria. We want to have a sequencing room, PCR rooms, rooms for faculty and students to in terms of offices, autoclave room, equipment room, biobank room, and this is we will get with we'll get the maps professionally done very soon. To summarize, we want to understand pressing health issues, both communicable, that is infectious, and non-communicable diseases in Pakistan. We want to generate models and targets in context to the local health issues using basic biomedical research and integrate those targets and models into transformative translational research. We want to develop solutions that are implementable and sustainable in Pakistan. We want to generate evidence that can be incorporated into policy and practice in Pakistan. For example, evidence for efficacy of pneumococcal vaccines, evidence for development of indigenous solutions to problems like malnutrition, which can contribute significantly to burden of infections and failure of vaccines. And we want to work with the government industry to solve public health problems. I thank you for your attention, and I hope that Dr. Shaper will be available to answer your questions um, during the online sessions. Thank you for your attention.